you spent a year of high school studying overseas in France. Why did you decide to do that?
I decided to do that because I always loved French in high school and in middle school, and I really wanted to become fluent in French. And so then when there was the opportunity to study abroad, I thought that that would be perfect to better my French.
Okay. And looking back on the year in Rennes, was it worth it?
It was 100% worth it.
Really? So
Yes,
did it exceed your expectations?
definitely.
In what sense?
Well, I think first of all, I made some of my closest friends there that I'm even closer with than my high school friends. So that was really important.
You able to like speak French for most of the day?
Yes. And then we had dinners that would last at least an hour long every single day. And so that was all French too.
And those dinners are very different from what you sort of experienced in the US?
Yes,
In what sense?
because you have to stay at the table for the entire time.
Yeah.
And even if you have like a big test or something, the dinner comes first. And I was not used to that at home. And I also wouldn't eat with my parents every single night at home because they would be busy or they would be at work.
Mm-hmm.
And so then coming to France, it's like a central part of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice. And now I basically make my parents do long dinners because I liked it so much.
Provided you do the cooking, of course. So, and did spending a year abroad hurt your chances of getting into university, do you think?
I think it helped me because I was applying into international relations programs. And so I had experience living abroad and studying abroad, which most high school students don't. So I think that made me stand out more. And it also helped me articulate why I wanted to study international relations and why I was interested in it.
Mm-hmm. So, and if you had to articulate that, what would you say?
I would say living abroad, I thought I was going to be learning a lot about France, which I definitely did, and French culture and French politics, but also I learned a lot about America and how America is perceived and what makes America different because before all I knew was America. And so I was just learning more and more about how different countries are interacting and different cultures that are seen in different countries, which I hadn't even thought existed beforehand.
And how has your view of the United States changed since you started spending time overseas?
It changed because when people would say things like universal health care or policies that people are campaigning for in America, I had never been in a political system that was different.
You've been interning for News Decoder now for several months. What have you learned?
I would say the behind the scenes of an organization, just because I did News Decoder as a high school student and I didn't know even half of what goes into actually having the program run and run successfully.
Last question, Elizabeth. If you're going to look back and talk to a 16 or 17-year-old who was entering their junior year of high school, as you were when you decided to go to SYA, right?
Mhm.
What kind of things would you tell them about their last 2 years before they go to university? What kind of things would you encourage them to do?
That's a good question. I would tell anyone to study abroad if they were interested in language or history or politics. But for like an average student who's
Yeah.
not going to study abroad, I would say to get more involved with extracurriculars. And so I would say to stress less about college. I think I stressed way too much about it. And then it ended up being fine.